right back in to the action. Welcome to the Wednesday edition. Chasing that paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. Got a big old show for you today. 12 total picks, NFL Thanksgiving, NFL Sunday games, because we're off for the rest of the week. So coming off a rough one there yesterday, 1-3 with my picks. And, sometimes you have a losing night and, not too hard on yourself. Some of the losses may be close ones, a couple coin flips, bad bounce here, bad beat there, but not even close on the 3 losses. The Nets, I thought they would show a little bit of guts and beat the shit out of a Sixers team who was without the 3 best players. No, not at all. An 8-point favorite, they end up losing outright. Dylan Brooks, the Grizzlies kind of based that bet off the thought that Ja Morant was going to be out. Of course, Ja Morant, out of nowhere, he ends up playing. So not even close on those two, and took the under in the Kings-Rangers game. They scored 8 goals in that game. And, so as we tend to do, we live to bet another day. That day is today. God damn it. So let's bring in my co-host for today, the second most provocative man in all of sports betting. He is a swinger, ladies and gentlemen. The king of swing, New York City. He hopes to swing his way to victory on today's program. Very excited about Team Canada soccer. Real football, as we call it, right, Ian? The World Cup?
Yes, I think I just threw my shoulder out dabbing too hard. So great start to the show. But yes, Canada, first time in our lives, Joe, that we can watch, or at least my life, I don't know about yours, that we can watch Canada in the World Cup. So very excited for that. That's starting here, 3 hours? Should be fun.
Yeah, a lot of upsets in the World Cup here. Guys, if you're watching live, hit up the live comments section. Let us know if you have any picks for the World Cup or for the NFL this weekend, or for the NBA, NHL. Oh, there we go. Oh, producer Tito.
Okay.
You challenged him.
Yeah.
He's using the Ric Flair woo about 12 times per show, and we said, put a little bit more effort. Sound effects. There we go. Tricky
I like
sound
that
effect. All right, speaking of which, we have 4 total picks for the Thanksgiving games, and then 8 total picks for the Sunday games. So a lot to get to here for the NFL. So let's get right into the action. We're going to start things off in beautiful Detroit, Michigan. The Buffalo Bills in town for the second week in a row. I think we're going to have a fun game here. Total of this one set at 54. Boom! Give me the over in this one. So check out these Lions home games here so far this season. Average combined score of 62.2 in the Lions home games. 4 of the 5 games saw a final combined score of 58 or more points. Both teams are very efficient at moving the football, 3rd and 6th in yards per play. Each in the top half of the NFL in third down conversion percentage. Buffalo really standing at a second. And the Lions, their defense stinks. This is the worst defense in football league. And then last in yards per play allowed, last in opponent third down conversion percentage, 26 in opponent red zone touchdown conversion percentage, and they're tied with the 4th fewest sacks in the NFL. Buffalo defense, meanwhile, starting to slip a little bit, maybe. Last 3 games, they are 24th in yards per play allowed. Give me the over! And beautiful Detroit. Ian, what are you looking at for your first pick for Thanksgiving Day?
Yes, I'm looking at the NFC East battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, and I will lay the points with the Dallas Cowboys here. Current line, I think, is all the way up at 9.5, but I do not care. I will lay the points here with Dallas. Let's take a look at net yards per play, which really illustrates that the Giants are not as good as their record indicates, and I will die on this hill. The Cowboys, 5th in the NFL in net yards per play heading into this week. The Giants all the way down at 29th. And the Cowboys offense has been rolling recently, averaging 6.4 yards per play over their last 3 games. That is the 3rd highest mark in the NFL over that stretch. They've also had the best third down conversion rate in that span, converting 60.47% of their third downs. And let's not forget, these two teams already played this season back in week 3, and the Cowboys beat them 23-16. Outgained them 6.4 yards per play to 5.0 yards per play. And that was with Cooper Rush as their quarterback. Now with Dak Prescott back firing on all cylinders, I think they win this game big. Give me the Cowboys, -9.5 against the Giants, and what will be the meat of the Thanksgiving Day sandwich of NFL games. It's the middle of the 3 games. So, yeah, I like the Cowboys here.
I like that analogy by Ian. Wow. The meat and the Thanksgiving Day sandwich. There you have it. Okay, so Thanksgiving Day, guys, you got to do a teaser on the 3 games here for Thanksgiving. It's a tradition, as much as the turkey and pumpkin pie. So I think the best teaser pairing for the day, take the Giants all the way up to +15.5, pair them with the Patriots up to +8.5. So let's dig into this Giants-Cowboys matchup. Dallas struggles to stop the run. 25th in yards allowed per rush attempt. That's how Green Bay got them a few weeks ago when they ran all over them for 207 yards. So expect a healthy dose of Saquon Barkley and Vanilla Vic. Giants defense could keep this one from getting too out of hand. 5th in third down defense and 2nd in red zone defense. So an outright win by the Giants may be too much to ask, but I think they can avoid losing by 16 or more. As for the nightcap, gigantic defensive advantage for the Patriots versus the Vikings. 6th versus 30th in yards per play allowed. 9th versus 22nd on third down. 6th versus dead last in the red zone. And this Vikings offense, wildly overrated. Yeah, they got a lot of big names, a lot of guys you're going to plug into your fantasy lineups. But compared to the Patriots, they average 0.1 more yards per play and 1.6 more points per game. I think this is going to be a close one. So yeah, Thanksgiving Day teaser pairing, Giants and Patriots. Ian, what are you looking at for your final pick for Thanksgiving Day?
Yes, I was talking about the last game was the meat of the sandwich, so now I got to pick for the top piece of bread, the final of the 3 games. And
yes.
It is,
I like it.
Yes, I will say though, this doesn't feel like a Thanksgiving Day game. I don't feel like the Vikings and Patriots are Thanksgiving Day types of teams, but they do play in the night game on Thanksgiving. I'll take the under. 42.5 in this one. What do you want when you're betting on an under? You want good defense and bad offense, and over each team's last 3 games in the NFL, the Patriots are exactly that. Over that span, they rank first in opponent yards per play, but they're also dead last in offensive yards per play. So over their last 3 games, quite literally the best defense in the NFL and the worst offense, which should certainly lead to an under. And as you mentioned, Joe, this Vikings offense not as good as a lot of people think. 19th in yards per play, and that number is down. They're getting 5.3 yards per play this season. That number is down to 4.9 yards per play over their last 3 games. And also, the other thing that's going to help an under bet is we need those red zone trips to result in field goals and not touchdowns. And the Patriots rank 31st in red zone offense, scoring a touchdown on only 42.86% of their red zone trips. So I'll take the under between the Patriots and the Vikings in what I said was the top piece of bread in the Thanksgiving Day NFL sandwich.
All right. Excellent analogy by Ian today with the sandwich analogy for Thanksgiving. Okay, we move on to the Sunday games here, guys. And if the Denver Broncos are playing, you know I'm taking the under. They're in Carolina. Total of 36 in this game. A low number, but guess what? It's not low enough, god damn it. Check out the Broncos this season. Average combined score of 31.8 in their games so far this season. 5 of their games have seen fewer than 30 points. I think this could be the 6th. Since the start of last season, the Broncos have gone under in 21 of 27 games. This includes 9 of 10 this season. Good opponent here for a low-scoring game because the Panthers have a very low-scoring floor. 16 or fewer points 5 times already this season. Expect a lot of punting in this game. 31st versus 32nd on third down. Denver 4th in third down defense, by the way. And red zone contrast for the Broncos. Dead last in red zone offense. 1st overall. And red zone defense. Dead last in points per game for the Broncos, by the way. 3rd in points per game allowed. They are perhaps the most perfect under team in the history of the NFL. That is not an exaggeration. Okay, Ian, moving on. What are you looking at for your first bet on Sunday?
Yes, I'm looking at the game between the Jaguars and the Ravens here, and this is my moneyline underdog alert. Moneyline underdog alert.
All right.
Okay, I'll allow it. Jaguars plus 175 against the Ravens here. I'll just take them on the money line. When you look at these two teams, you probably think the Ravens' offense is much better than the Jaguars, but that actually hasn't been the case this season. In fact, if you look at yards per play, they're both averaging 5.7 yards per play this season, and they are both averaging 5.3 yards per play over their last 3 games. The Jaguars do have a slight edge in red zone offense, but the Ravens have a slight edge in third down offense. So if we want to determine who will win this game, we've got to look at the defense. And yes, overall, the Ravens defense is probably slightly better, but I think the Jaguars defense matches up better stylistically in this game. We know the Ravens rely on running the football, but stopping the run is the strength of the Jaguars defense, ranking 8th in opponent yards per carry. Meanwhile, the opposite is true in terms of the Jaguars relying on the pass, and that is the weakness of the Baltimore defense, ranking 18th in opponent yards per pass attempt. And then just as a little cherry on top, yeah, they're 12th and 16th in net yards per play. So that just kind of further hammers home the point that these two teams, despite the very different records, aren't as lopsided as you might think. So with the Jaguars being at home, hey, I'll take a shot on them to win outright. Give me the Jaguars plus 175.
Okay, moving on to a game that nobody outside of Ian cares about. The Atlanta Falcons in Washington to take on the Commanders. A total of 42 for this one. I'm taking the under. God damn it. You check out these Commanders games lately. 7 of the last 9 games have stayed under 40 points. So some very low scoring games for them. Falcons offense falls off quite a bit on the road. They're averaging 6.1 fewer points per game on the road, 0.5 fewer yards per play on the road, converting on a lot less third downs on the road. And this Commanders offense, they still stink. I know they're winning games here, but overall, 29th in yards per play, 26th on third down, the 6th most sacks allowed. And these numbers have not been improving during their recent winning stretch. But guess what? Their defense has been improving. Last 3 games, they are 4th in yards per play allowed, thanks to allowing just 2.9 yards per rush. Atlanta loves to run the football. They could be in trouble here. Also, for the Commanders, they're generating the 3rd highest quarterback pressure percentage on the season, while ranking 3rd in third down defense. So give me the under in Washington. Ian, what do you got next?
Taking a look at the Jets and the Bears game here, it's up to 4.5. I'll take the Jets minus 4.5 in the spot, mainly because of the difference between these two defenses. It is time for us as a society to respect the New York Jets defense for being as dominant as it has been this season. 4th in the NFL in opponent yards per play so far this year, and they've done a great job in stopping the run. 6th in opponent yards per carry. That will go a long way in stopping the Bears' dominant rush attack. Meanwhile, the Bears defense just absolutely stinks, which is kind of weird to say. I don't feel like the Bears have had a bottom 5 defense for like the entire time I've ever been a football fan, but it's the case this year. 24th in opponent yards per play, allowing 5.8 yards per snap. They've also allowed 6 yards per play over the last 3 games, which is 26th amongst all teams during that time frame. By the way, Joe, I don't know if you saw this. Breaking news just as we went live on the show today. Jets players, this comes in from Adam Schefter. Jets players were informed that Zach Wilson is not starting Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears, which makes me like this bet even more. Give me Joe Flacco, baby. This is actually kind of a perfect spot for Flacco because he doesn't really have to do a whole lot. He just needs to play half decent, and the Jets can win these games on the backs of their defense. So I think Joe Flacco, I think this is a great move by Robert Saleh. Give me Joe Flacco. Give me the Jets. Down with the Bears on Sunday.
Yeah, Robert Saleh. Ian, a big fan of Robert Saleh, by the way. And we are wacko for Flacco around here. Maybe a Kurt Warner type of resurgence for him. Yet to be seen. Maybe it will be on Sunday, though. Okay, let's look at something sexy here. Too many under bets on the program. Going to take a look at a team total. The team total for my Miami Dolphins, 30.5 at home versus the Houston Texans, coming in at plus 100 on the over. Absolutely love it. Let's dig into this one. So check out what Miami's done here over their last 3 games. Totals of 39, 35, and 31 points. Great everywhere, especially through the air, which we'll get to soon. They got a Texans defense in town that's had it really easy. You know, they rank poorly in many key defensive categories, despite the fact that they played some relatively weak offenses. Washington, the Giants, the Titans, Jacksonville, Chicago, Denver, the Colts. When they have played capable offenses, we saw Philly sleepwalk to 21 points against them on Thursday Night Football a few weeks ago. Vegas dropped 38 on them. The Chargers dropped 34 on them. And Tua and the boys going to have a big advantage through the air. Miami first in yards per pass attempt this season versus the Texans 26 in yards per pass allowed. Expect Miami to get to at least 31 points on Sunday. Yeah, all right, Ian, we keep moving. What are you looking at next?
Taking a look at the NFC matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers, and I will take the points with the Saints plus 9.5 against San Francisco here. I think this line is a huge overreaction to San Francisco's dominant Monday Night Football performance, but you got to look past the records here because the Saints are much better than the record indicates. In fact, if you look at net yards per play, 7th in the NFL. Meanwhile, the 49ers, yes, their defense has been very good, but they do have some third down issues. 23rd in the NFL in opponent third down conversion rate. That's well below the Saints, who rank 12th in that statistic. And also the Saints don't rank them in red zone defense. They rank 5th in red zone defense. The 49ers are down at 22nd. So yeah, 49ers maybe overall have a better defense, but the Saints do have advantages in some key areas here. And they actually have been playing better than the record indicates. Now, what they need to stop doing is turning the ball over, and maybe getting a few turnovers on defense will help them quite a bit. But I think this spread is just ridiculous. I will take the Saints plus 9.5 in this Week 12 matchup.
All right, I will wrap up my picks with yet again another total. I've been winning on them, so why not keep going on them? I think we got a good opportunity for an over in Cleveland with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in town. Number 42.5. Give me the over on this one. This game sets up nicely for each of these offenses. Check out the Browns, 25th in yards per pass allowed. Nobody throws at a higher percentage than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady on pace to possibly set some records in terms of attempts and completions this season. The Bucs pretty average against the run. Cleveland tied for 7th in yards per rush attempt. Cleveland also pretty good in the red zone, 10th in red zone TD scoring, tied for 4th when playing at home. And the Bucs are getting killed in the red zone, 25th in opponent red zone TD scoring percentage. High scores are the norm in Browns home games. 4-0-1 to the over at home, where the average combined score has been 52.6, with all of those games topping this number of 42.5. So give me the over in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, Ian, bring it home for us, baby. Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football. Give me one more turkey sound effect, Tito. A little slow in the draw, but there you go. Thank you. Sunday Night Football. It is the Packers against the Eagles. I will take the points with Green Bay plus 7 against Philadelphia here. Philadelphia has had some holes exploited on their team over the last couple weeks. Mainly their inability to stop the run. 24th in opponent yards per carry. Now they're going up against a Packers team that should be able to run the ball here. 8th in the NFL in offensive yards per carry. And I've been talking about this a lot on the show about how we need to start looking past the record of certain teams in order to evaluate them. And the Packers, I think, are one of the teams that are actually better than the record indicates. You look at their net yards per play, 15th in net yards per play. They gain 5.5 yards per play on offense, give up 5.5 yards per play on defense for a perfect net yards per play of 0.0. So they're actually kind of like the definition of a completely average team here. And I don't want to lay a touchdown worth of points against an average team. I'd rather lay a touchdown worth of points against a bad team. And also, I think this is a time to bet against the Philadelphia Eagles, because we all know this, even in eventual Super Bowl champions, teams go through peaks and valleys of their NFL season. And I think this is a little bit of a valley, a little bit of a dip for the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost 2 weeks ago to the Commanders. They barely beat the Indianapolis Colts last week. Now, I'm sure they will get things together before the start of the playoffs, but we need to take advantage of the dip in the Eagles here. So I'll take the Packers and the points on Sunday Night Football.
Oof. Trust in the Green Bay Packers. I like that. That was rough, that game versus Titans on Thursday night. Aaron Rodgers played like shit, and Kirk Herbstreit was making so many excuses for him. The receiver wasn't where he wanted him. Well, why don't you throw the ball to the receiver, maybe? I don't know. Anyhow, guys, if you're watching right now on YouTube, do me a little favor. There's a like button right down there. There's a subscribe button around there as well. Give those a little click. Help us out here at Chasing That Paper. So, my God, Ian, we just ripped through 12 picks, covered most of the NFL here for this week. And if you're looking to tail any of these bets, if you're looking to fade any of them for whatever reason, the choice quite simply is yours. I recommend placing your action over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Kick off your day of sports betting with the king of sportsbooks. Sign up with BetMGM. Using bonus code VIBONUS, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. That's VIBONUS. All one word, no spaces. And your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Indeed. Now, we shouldn't have told Tito that, like, hey, good job on that sound effect with the turkey, because
he's already run it in the ground.
I was all horny with it. Tito, by the way, asked us to call him Teat for short. So I don't know. We'll see if that sticks. So something I want to run by you here, Ian. Get your opinion on. Big week for quarterback discussion here on Chasing That Paper. We talked about Zach Wilson on Monday. We'll talk about him again here momentarily. We talked about, the amount of quarterbacks that came into this league were anything but sure things yesterday. We went through the list yesterday. It's quite remarkable, actually. But one guy I want to talk about, a guy that people cannot wait to put into the Hall of Fame. 100% an ultra-talented quarterback, no doubt about it. And yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But why does Justin Herbert get such a pass? You hear nothing about Justin Herbert, except for when he plays well. So 2 consecutive games for the Chargers have ended with Herbert throwing an interception to end the game. He threw a really bad pick 6 in week 2 to lose that game for the Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and you hear nothing about it. If Dak Prescott does that, people in the media are lining up to absolutely trash the guy, but you hear nothing about Justin Herbert doing this. He gets a complete and total pass, and I don't really understand it. And this isn't just an opinion, guys. The stats back it up. Justin Herbert falls off significantly in the second half of games. You'll make the excuses, hey, there's been wide receiver injuries, sure, but he's been good in the first half, despite those wide receiver injuries. Has a quarterback rating of 103.7, 10 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. But when you flip it to the second half of games, quarterback rating of 78.7, 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions in the fourth quarter this season. He's already thrown 4 interceptions to just 4 touchdowns. Now, a really interesting stat here. Close games in the fourth quarter. So in the fourth quarter, when the point margin has been at 7 for either team, Herbert's quarterback rating way down there at 71.1. More interceptions than touchdowns. So not very clutch for Justin Herbert, a guy that, like I said, everyone can't wait to put the guy in the Hall of Fame. But other quarterbacks, if it's a Kirk Cousins doing this, we saw people giving Josh Allen a hard time because he went through a rough stretch there. Don't even get me started on Tua. But what do you think? What's the deal here, Ian? Is it because no one gives a shit about the Chargers? The guy just gets a complete and total pass.
Well, I think a big reason for it, and I think people are starting to have some whispers this season about him. But I mean, he's had no one to throw to. His entire receiving core has been hurt. Mike Williams has been out almost the whole year. Keenan Allen's been out almost the whole year.
That hasn't impacted him in the first half, though. That's what I pointed out.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the way. I mean, this. Yeah, I think this. How much of this, Joe, is coming from you being a Tua guy and being salty about people hating on Tua?
A little bit.
Two guys who are in the same draft.
A little bit. Well, here's the thing with people are saying to Dolphins fans, they're like, "Hey, why can't you guys just shut up and enjoy the success?" You have said that to me behind the scenes, Ian. 100%, I'm going to enjoy the success, but no, I'm not going to shut up about it because I need to sit and listen for like 2 years. People dropping into my DMs people I don't even fucking know to mock me about this situation with Tua. And it got to the point with Tua, like, hey, if you don't like a quarterback, that's fine. You don't think he's playing good, that's fine. You think he's a bust, that's fine. But with this Tua on social media, it got very mean-spirited, bordering on cyberbullying, for fuck's sakes. It was insane. People take that clip, the clips, the GIFs of when Tyreek Hill gets traded to the Dolphins. People are showing clips of Drew Lock throwing a touchdown out of bounds and a shortstop throwing a crazy throw to first base saying, hey, here's Tua throwing to Tyreek Hill. It'd be funny had they actually had a clip of Tua doing that. Don't even get me started on the Tua stuff. People, Justin Herbert hasn't had anyone to throw to. People talk about Mike Gesicki and Devontae Parker like they were Jerry Rice and Rob Gronkowski that Tua was throwing to in his first 2 seasons there. So all I'm saying, back to the point here, I think Herbert's getting a pass. Ian's kind of on the fence a little bit. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have anyone to throw to this season. He's not getting much of a pass. You know what I mean? No?
Well, this is his 3rd season. Justin Herbert has had 2 very good seasons. This year has not been good with injured receiving core and a coach that no one really has bought in on either in Brandon Staley. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're certainly getting to the point where we're going to start questioning him, but I'm ready. I've given him a pass up till this point, but he does need to kind of turn it on here in the final stretch for sure.
All right, so let's touch on the Zach Wilson situation. I killed him on the show on Monday. I thought he acted like a total jerk, just kind of being disrespectful to the media and to his own team, especially the defense. And now he's paying for it. Not a good sign for a guy getting benched a season and a half into his career. The team, if they were losing, maybe they'd keep him in there, but they're still in contention for a playoff spot. But what do we think the future holds for Zach Wilson? Like I said on the show Monday, you dig into his games. Is there a standout performance where you're like, wow, that's a good game by Zach Wilson? And he hasn't shown anything at all. So what do you think the future holds for Zach Wilson here?
I think he's going to get another shot. I think this benching wasn't about his play. I think it was more about his comment about not taking any responsibility in that loss to the Patriots. Unless whoever starts for the Jets this week has an unbelievable game, I think Zach Wilson will start again next week, and then this is going to be his kind of final shot. If he doesn't play well to close out the season, I think they're probably going to move on from him. And he's probably going to end up in Carolina since he's the kind of guy that the Panthers would like to go after. But I was talking earlier about my pick for that game, assuming Joe Flacco would be the starter. I'm actually seeing some reports. It might be Mike White. We might be seeing another Mike White game on Sunday. So not confirmed one way or the other, but I would rather Joe Flacco for my Jets bet. I don't know about Mike White. Maybe he can play again like he did against the Bengals last year. But yeah, I think Zach Wilson, I think this is a 1-week thing. Kind of punishment for the comments because his team's against him. This is punishment. Go sit in the corner for a game and come back next week.
I don't know. It's a good spot against that Bears defense, which stinks. I mean, your Falcons put up, 29 points on them there on Sunday. So if you have a quarterback come in and throws for, 275 and 2 or 3 touchdowns, it's their job to win.
Yep.
Whoever is starting. So non-football related, Ian, of course, Thanksgiving tomorrow, or as us Canadians call it, U.S. Thanksgiving. So a friend of mine kind of turned me on to this thought a couple of years back, and I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I think I lean towards him being somewhat right. Um, he thinks that Thanksgiving dinner is extremely overrated.
It's a
And
dumb take.
Thanksgiving dinner is very good, but in terms of like types of dinners, I'd put it like I'd rather have like a really good pizza dinner type of thing, like really good barbecue, like wings and nachos type of like. There's like a really nice seafood dinner. There's a bunch of different dinner types that I would put above Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, the turkey with the gravy, the mashed potatoes, the pie, fantastic. You getting very excited about the vegetables on your plate for Thanksgiving? So you think that's a stupid take?
Yeah, I think that's a really stupid take. Thanksgiving dinner, along with Christmas dinner, is probably the best meal of the entire year. I think what the issue is, and I think some people run into this issue, is you eat turkey too often. If you eat like a turkey dinner like once a month, then Thanksgiving dinner is going to be overrated. But my secret to that is I only eat turkey dinners on Thanksgiving and on Christmas, so it makes it extra special because some gravy, some garlic mashed potatoes, there'll be very little vegetables on my plate though. Maybe like a little bit of spinach or something. But give me the turkey, give me the mashed potatoes, maybe some mac and cheese in there. Give me some pie for dessert. Oh, some gravy. Oh, my mouth's watering.
What's the best pie, Ian? What's the best
coconut
pie?
cream pie? Coconut cream.
Oh,
pie.
you agree? No way! I
Yes.
thought you were gonna insult me saying that. Coconut cream is at the number one in my
it's the best.
pie power rankings. Pumpkin pie is fantastic. Traditional apple pie is fantastic. You know, there's not too many pies. If somebody offers me like dessert pies, that I'm gonna say like no, thank you to.
What about
I'll
a
have
pecan
lemon
pie?
meringue.
I like a good pecan pie.
Okay. Strawberry rhubarb pie, a bit different. I enjoy that. Big pie lovers here at Chasing the Paper. Okay, so there you have it. Are you cooking this year, or is your significant other preparing a meal, Ian?
No, my significant other is I'm in charge of the wine, so I'm going to go to my favorite wine store on. We're going to have Thanksgiving on Friday. Oh, go ahead.
Pretty good deal. You walk around the corner to a liquor store, you pick up a couple bottles. There, my job's done. Enjoy your 6 or 8 hours of preparing me a meal. Well,
that is correct, but also I take my wine very seriously. So I'm gonna be spending a good 20 to 30 minutes in there deciding exactly the perfect types of wine for Thanksgiving dinner. So, but yeah, it's certainly a lot easier than cooking for 6 hours. That's for sure.
You a big wine snob now?
I am. I've turned into one. Yes.
Do you ask a lot of questions when you go into the wine store or liquor store, or you just kind of go around and read the labels and
go around, read the labels, maybe do some research beforehand, what will pair well with what we're about to eat. Yeah, I love it. And maybe a nice Zinfandel, maybe a nice Argentinian Malbec to go with the turkey. We'll see. Might get crazy.
Now, it's funny. I don't know how it is in the different states. I know marijuana isn't legalized in every state, but it's legal up here in Canada. And the marijuana dispensaries are directly right in the liquor stores. So it's like a one-stop shop for substances to improve your day, potentially. And you go into, it's like a little back area, and they have like sommeliers for marijuana almost. And you tell them what you like. I know Ian walks in and says, I want whatever you can give me that will get me the most possibly fucked up. Some people, it's a little bit lighter, you know. But yeah, it's pretty cool if you're into such a thing. It is legal in most places now. All right. That's it for that portion of the show. If you enjoy what we do here at Vegas Insider, I recommend checking out the Vegas Insider app. We've got up-to-date, easy-to-navigate odds for every major sport. We have all our latest shows, best bet videos, and podcasts, props, trends, features, news, all on the Vegas Insider app. Download the Vegas Insider app right now on Apple and Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app.
Broncos country, let's ride.
We did a pick for the Broncos game, Teat. Oh, Teat. Okay. Viewer picks. Let's get into those, then send the people on their way.
Yes.
What do we got? Trucking Goss.
I'm on this one with him. I love it.
All right, yeah. Even money. So taking on the big bad Bruins and betting on regression as they've ranked second in shot percentage and first in save percentage, which typically indicates puck luck. I like that. Puck luck. I'm going to start using that around the show here. Florida 9th in expected goals for percentage, second in Corsi, Ian, and 8th in high danger chances for in last 10 5-on-5 play, of course. Boston middle of the road, ranking 13th, 15th, and 14th, respectively. Good luck to Nathan on that one. Even money pick. What do we have next? Sean Mitchelson. He likes the T-Wolves first quarter versus Indy. Minus 125. Start fast versus a slow start. T-Wolves first quarter points, 31.8, averaging 35 in the last three. Pacers dead last in first quarter scoring at 25.4 and averaged 19.7 in the last three games. So yeah, good luck to Sean with that one. Minus 125 versus the Pacers. And we wrap things up with this goofy guy. Looks like a real asshole, Ian. Not to judge people on their looks. But this gentleman is going to keep riding with the Devils again as they go for 14 straight, coming in at minus 135 at home versus Ian's Maple Leafs. Over the last 10 games, New Jersey first in expected goals for percentage. Toronto, surprisingly, at 17th. What do you think about your Leafs tonight, Ian, against the Devils?
I'm actually on the Leafs, and I will actually be at that game in New Jersey. I'll be, as soon as I'm done work, I will be hopping on the train, heading over to the Prudential Center to watch that game. The Devils going for their franchise record 14th straight win, but I'm on the Leafs. I think the Leafs break the hearts of New Jersey fans everywhere. Their defense has been slacking a little bit recently, and I think the Maple Leafs can take advantage. So I'm on the Maple Leafs as an underdog.
Maple Leafs as an underdog. The streak comes to an end. We had the Sabres last night. Their losing streak came to an end. They beat up on the Montreal Canadiens. So yeah, I like New Jersey. I'm against Ian on that one. Kind of looking at the Sharks, maybe plus 150 dog in Seattle versus the Kraken, and maybe Rangers in regulation potentially. I know it's second of a back-to-back. They got their backup in net, but the Anaheim Ducks are just god awful. Okay, Ian, we'll send you on your way here soon. You have a lot up right now, bet-sided, and with your podcast as well. So what can we keep an eye out from you?
Yeah, the Week 12 edition of the Bacon Bets podcast, my best bet for every single game, is out there now. Check that out. Also, daily bet slip going live at 5 p.m. Eastern. Special guest, JJ Gruden on that show. So check that out. And that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Okay, guys. As I had mentioned, this is the last show of the week. Chasing that paper again. Take a little break. Looking forward to it. Been going pretty hard here since the start of football season. So on a little bit of a hiatus here. We'll be back with you next Monday. Until then, though, make sure you're following Vegas Insider on Twitter. Lots of great information there, so you won't miss anything going on with Vegas Insider. So make sure you give us a follow. Once again, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Give it a little like on this video as well. 12 total bets in the NFL. So we say happy Thanksgiving to you guys. We're grateful for all of the viewers tuning into the show every single day. Good luck with your picks on Thanksgiving and on Sunday, unless, of course, you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo! Go Canada! Yeah!